we finally get to talk about court cards. These are very unique cards of the deck that often trip students up, and people who are new to reading may sometimes hope they can take those cards out of the deck. I've seen it done. But I want to offer you some ways to look at these court cards so that you can work with them with ease. First of all, why are they called court cards? Well, they are a king, a queen, a knight, and a page. This is based on a medieval hierarchy system in society, and this is one of those holdovers from Italy back in the 1400s when these were the characters involved in their Tarocchi deck. The Rider-Waite-Smith deck continued that pattern, but you'll see in different decks new titles. Sometimes you'll see mentor, teacher, student, and so on. Always go to the book inside your deck if the titles are different than this traditional medieval setting. When interpreting court cards, what do they mean? They represent behavioral attributes, maturity levels, and personality dynamics. All 16 of our court cards can be felt and represented within yourself in a single day. Sometimes it depends on what a situation draws out of you, but you can rotate from behaving like the Page of Pentacles, being curious and wanting to learn skills, to then behaving like the Queen of Swords the next moment when you experience failure and you lock up and you don't want to show any vulnerability because you suddenly get embarrassed. So know that you are all of these court cards. Anyone you read for has the ability to access all of these attributes as well. And by reading your tarot cards with the inclusion of court cards, you get to bring out different parts of your dynamics, different personality attributes, and look at different maturity levels as a way to help yourself be successful. So let's break down these levels and personality attributes, starting with our pages. These are the youngest characters of the court cards. They're childlike. Along with that, generally comes open-mindedness, flexibility, and curiosity. So on a helpful day, they show up, they want to learn, they want to try new things. However, if you're about to be engaged to somebody who's behaving like a page, you may wonder if they're committed. You may wonder if they're mature enough for this type of an engagement, right? So potentially on a more negative side, pages can represent some immaturity or a lack of preparedness. Or if you're about to go in to ask for a raise at work and you're seeing yourself as a page, then you may not be able to communicate your worth well enough. You may think, I'm just here for the experience and that's enough for me, rather than going in acting like a king of swords or a king of pentacles and saying, I know who I am, I know what I'm worth, and the value I bring is worth this much money in my raise. Does that make sense? So those are the pages. Let's look at the knights. Our knights are characters proving who they are. Think of them as interns at the office. They're eager and excited to try things. They have nothing to lose and only something to gain. So they are going to charge forward, try things, risk failure, potentially embarrass themselves. But if they succeed, then they get applause, they get reward, and they get to grow and develop to the next level. So both of your pages and knights are cards about being individual contributors at the office. It's cards about learning who you are, learning what you can do. By contrast, your queens and your kings represent two different qualities of leadership. Queens are a quality of leadership where we practice more than preach. Kings will preach more than practice. We're often told that that's not a good thing to do, but there are times when that's the necessary way to lead. It's called delegation. So coming back to our queens, these are individuals that like to set an example. They really act in accordance to their values, and they don't tell people what to do. They simply live it, and they set an example for others. When it comes to the kings, a good example is to think of a basketball coach, or a football coach, somebody who may be in their 50s or 60s. They really can't go do what the athletes can do on the court, but they can create the plays, they can guide and direct the players. And they're a successful coach because they let other people carry out the plan while they're the ones overseeing it. So think about our kings as individuals that stay rooted in a place of power and send out commands with clear strategy and delegation for others to implement on their behalf. We need leaders who can be in that position, keep their eyes out there, and trust others to do the work as they're commanded to do. When a court card comes up in a reading, Interpret it as an aspect of yourself. Ask yourself, what would happen if I behaved this way? Ask yourself, what would happen if I tapped into that maturity level, even if it means being more youthful, more playful? What would happen if I tried a leadership style like this? All of these attributes are available within you, so let the cards inspire you to draw that dynamic out, put it into the world, and let it benefit you.